Right, so we're ready for our next presenter, Mark Kauffman from WSP. Mark has been a veteran for AEC technologies and visualization for the past 20 plus years or more than that. And he is going to present to us GIS, the foundation of all AEC projects, where everything begins. So, Mark, please take us through the journey.
Thanks a lot for coming. This is my first RTC event, so I'd like to thank everybody for including me. This has been a great organization. I've been really interested in where things are presenting, and it was really quite fascinating to see what Fosters and Partners and a lot of the different kinds of technologies and how they're used in lots of different ways. That whole presentation about showing and demonstrating or simulating how people with macular degeneration, experience things. It's an interesting way to do that. So I'm going to go into something significantly more technical. And this is, kind of more specifically, GIS in, the whole process of what we work with, both in the real time, in visualization, in architecture, pretty much everything, architecture, engineering, construction, and operations. So a little bit about me. I'm the technical lead for the Visualization and Data Intelligence Group at WSP. I've actually been there for about 21 years. In fact, last August was my 21st year with the company. Of course, I say formerly Parsons Brinckerhoff because, there was talk about with Fosters and Partners been in this for 30 years. Parsons Brinckerhoff started a visualization group about 30 years ago. So a couple of first pioneers into that field. And of course, we were eventually acquired by WSP a couple of years ago. I've been actually working in 3D for longer than that. I started early 1990s working in visual effects for TV and film. So quite a different realm compared to, what I'm doing today. And I got to tell you, I really enjoy working in the AEC field. It's much more engaging and much more satisfying to me as a person because there's a lot more technical things that you experience in visual effects as opposed to thing. And just kind of a quick little note, my first 3D application, and this came up in a chat I was on, what was my first 3D application? It was 3D Studio for the DOS version. So that tells you how long ago I started doing this. And of course, visual effects went into that whole field. And let me tell you, directors have no concept of scope, schedule, and budget. So not that all PMs do, but I got to tell you. Anyway, so what does GIS mean? Well, we've all heard the term graphic information systems, and it's been around since the 1960s. The fact of the matter is, survey, geospatial mapping, things like that have existed for long periods of time. And honestly, there's lots of different kinds of tools, but it's been applied to, oh, by the way, that's the building that we're in right now. I just thought that was kind of cool. I threw that in there. But anyways, one of the things that, what does it do? So GIS, really, think of it this way. It's just a reference system that's based on these mathematical models. So when the surveyors were coming up with everything, they were using trigonometry and some calculus and some other things to say, hey, how do we figure out how to take a map and turn it into something that we see as the world, as this big spherical thing, into a flat map? And ultimately, it's a spherical thing, or it's a mathematical model. And so what does that mean, a mathematical model? Well, think about it. Have you ever taken a basketball or a a football, and try to flatten it out? It's really difficult, isn't it? And if you wanted to do it, you'd actually have to take it and stretch it. So ultimately, these mathematical models are different ways of being able to say, let's take this big giant spheroid. It's not nice, perfect sphere. The Earth is actually kind of fat in the center and kind of bumpy and everything else that we have. So you have to take that, you have to make this a mathematical model to say, hey, how do we take this spherical object and produce it onto a flat map? I mean, think about this. We're looking at a flat surface here with the LCD screen. And so these are called projection systems. I wanted to go through kind of the basics of GIS because we've probably gone through that, but I wanted to go a little bit more into the technology, but take you not just far enough to understand it, but not so far that you're going to start yawning and you're going to